Women, guess what? You can have it all. How to build a career and lifestyle you love. Guess what? Ask for more. That's today's topic that we're going to get right into after this quick intro. Don't you move. You're listening to and watching the Sharvette Mitchell radio show.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Sharvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Sharvette Mitchell radio show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Sharvette Mitchell.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell radio show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard and seen all across the world wide web. Welcome to all of those that are coming in from Facebook. We're in 3 different places on Facebook, YouTube. How you doing? Guess what? You like this content? Go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Like the video while you are over there. Hello, LinkedIn, certainly Twitter, and Sharvette.com. We thank you so much for watching, and then certainly all of our listeners who are listening here to this first episode for our 2023 season on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Blog Talk Radio, all of the things. We thank you so much for listening in and being with us. I'm telling you what, we are jumping right on in. We see some of our live viewers here. Hello, hey girl, hey. Patricia from NYC in the house. Listen, my mom gonna always have a seat in the house. Hey, mom. And my sister and Deborah are always gonna have a seat in the house over on YouTube. Awesome. We are glad to have all of you here as we kick off our 2023 season with an amazing topic. Women, you can have it all. How to build a career and lifestyle you love. Ask for more. Our guest is hanging out in the virtual studio. We're going to be bringing her up to the mic. You've seen her beautiful face on our promotions. You see her beautiful face on Sharvette.com, where we have our full blog post that has her information and all of her links for connecting with her. We are so excited to have ISIMEMEN Aladejobi with us today in the virtual studio. She's going to be coming on up to the mic. Hey, Dana, thank you for being here. Hello, Dr. Jacqueline. Thank you so much for being here as well. Listen, this segment is brought to you by my 2022 book collaboration, where I joined forces with 10 of my clients, and we wrote a book collaboration, my 4th book collaboration. But guess what? Here's the cool thing. It is now available on Audible. So, Pearls, wisdom and advice for emerging women leaders. You literally, if you are a person who's like, Sharvette, I know you got book. Look, I got a stack of books here. I just like to listen to my books. Well, we've made that happen for you. So it's available on Audible. Go ahead and check it out and get, all of the good that is in there. All right. Hello, Tim. Thank you so much for being here over on LinkedIn. Listen, let me go ahead and share a little bit more about my guest as I bring her up to the virtual stage here. We are excited again. ISIMEMEN Aladejobi is with us. She's America's premier business and career growth strategist for women of color. Since 2020, ISIMEMEN has supported over 300 women to land fulfilling jobs and achieve salary increases totaling over $1.8 million, thus creating a space for women to thrive personally and professionally. Listen, her signature transformational career training program, Fulfilled, is widely known to increase clarity and confidence in women, helping them to realize that they can win in every area of their lives. From speaking to coaching, ISIMEMEN has trained over 7,000 women in multiple areas of career growth. As a business growth strategist, her clients have seen revenue increases of over 300% from implementing her revenue growth plans. And without further ado, coming up live here on the Sharvette Mitchell radio show, we have ISIMEMEN. Put your virtual hands together. Hey girl, hey, welcome to the show.
Hi, Sharvette. Thank you so much for having me. I can feel the energy.
Yes.
It's about to be great.
I love it. Listen, the audience is ready. They're like, yes, come right on in. And so I'd love to kind of start from the beginning. Like, how did you even get into this space? What took you down this road?
Yeah, well, so I am the child of Nigerian immigrants, and I actually came to America when I was 5 months old. My parents always wanted me to be a doctor, always.
Yeah.
And so I get to undergrad, and I'd always been a top performer. And I was like, okay, I'll be a doctor. And let me tell you, Sharvette, I failed organic chemistry too, with
Oh
a
my.
capital F, and I am not a failing type of person. For all my type A people in the crowd, you already know we don't play those games. And
Right.
it sent me on a journey of what do I really want? Because when you are pursuing a big goal,
Yeah.
the purpose, the why, it has to be intact because that's what lifts you when things get hard. That's
Yeah.
what anchors you when you're like, what am I doing? Am I crazy? But I didn't have that. I just had my
Yeah.
parents' dream. I didn't know mine. So long story short, I start my major. I figured out that I love business. And I started my major as a senior in college. And I
Wow.
had to come up against so many challenges, but I prevailed by God's grace. And I left school with two incredible job offers that I barely really applied for. And I was like, wait, there is a game being played. And people that look like
Mm.
me don't know it. And so
Mm.
I get into my career, I actually began to teach because I went from the business space and I'm always like, is that what I really want? Is that what? And I'm like, let me become a teacher and change the world. And then my couple years of teaching were up. I was doing Teach for America. And I was like, EC, you're starting to go to bed Sunday nights miserable.
Mm.
Shift. I started applying online. Nothing was working. And I was like, well, wait, how did I get those jobs in college again? Because all I'm getting is rejections. Oh my gosh, I networked, I connected. Boom, I network and connect with a friend. Boom, I get a role. And I was like, you know what? It's time.
Wow.
It's time for me to give women that look like me the strategy step by step. And at that time, empowerment brunches were all the rage. But it's like,
Uh-huh.
where is the strategy to actually get the thing? So I was like, I'm going to do it. And I had my first client land her dream job. And from there, the rest is history. And here we are over 5 years later, over 300 plus clients later, over millions of dollars salary increase later, and I'm still doing the work day in, day out.
Wow. Wow. And listen, that passion for teaching, it's still embedded in what you're doing, right?
It absolutely is. Because I said,
Wow.
what took me 10 years to figure out as far as my purpose and calling, it's going to take other women less than 10 weeks. And so I
Oh,
literally reverse engineered the process, worked with other experts, spent months and months making sure my curriculum and material was top notch. Because I'm like, if you're going to pay me, you're going to get a transformation, period.
yeah.
And
Period. End of discussion. I love this. And so this space, pandemic happens, a lot of things going on related to jobs and what's happening in all of this. Have you seen, women kind of feeling like, in particular, women of color, saying, I don't know, EC, can I really have it all? And if you're just joining us, our topic is women, you can have it all, how to build a career and lifestyle you love, ask for more. What do you say to that woman that's doubting if she can have it all?
Oh, absolutely. Great question. I'm telling you, you can. And one thing about me is I'm really honest. You have to define what having all looks like and what season you're in,
Mm.
because different seasons call for the application of pressure in different ways, and that's okay. I think where women really get caught up is where we try to have it all on 10 in every area at the exact same time.
Uh,
Knowing that sometimes being at an 8 in some areas is actually okay because
yeah.
you're at a 10 in some areas. So I'm a mother to 3 young children. I have a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and an 8-month-old.
Oh my goodness.
And I am a business owner. I'm growing this business. My husband is phenomenal, right there with me, lockstep. And the hours I used to work when I had no children or just one child and I was growing the business, totally
Yeah.
different from the hours I work now. But I
Yeah.
don't beat myself up because by God's grace, the business is still growing.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I'm there for my children. What does it make sense that I get all this money and I'm not present for their lives, or I'm not
Right.
with my husband, or I'm not serving in church? Like, we're in a society and we're in a time, and if I can be honest, that's all I know how to
Yes.
do, Shabbat, it's like get money at all costs.
Mm.
What does it gain you to gain the whole world and lose your soul?
It
Like you're
profits you nothing. It profits you
get the
nothing.
bag so your children can have generational wealth, but they grow up and they're 18 and all they wanted to do was see you, but you were too busy trying
Mm.
to make more money to buy them shoes that they didn't really want because they really wanted you, but you were spending too much time. Like, so there has to be balance. So I say all that to say, what does it mean to have it all? It means dividing your time and giving your time to different areas in your life and understanding the season you're in, knowing that in some places you'll be a 10, some places you'll be 8, but that's okay. So I have it all. I
Yeah.
absolutely have it all. The faith, the husband, the children, the home, the money, the business, the impact, the career. I do. And the friendships, I have it all. And I'm really excited about that. So yes, you can in the pandemic, whatever it is, whatever is going on, you absolutely can, but you have to be strategic.
All right. Be strategic. I love that. And that is, it sounds like it's customized, just like she said, what that means is customized to everyone. And so let's talk about, you have shared some great like client testimonials on your social media. I've been stalking you a little bit as I prepare. So I looked at your Instagram and your Facebook, and I'd love for you to share, kind of like recap one of maybe the recent wins that, one or two of your clients had.
Yeah. So one of my clients, she came to us, she was like, oh my gosh, easy. I know I'm made for more, but I'm feeling really stuck. And she was making about $70K. She works with us in our program Fulfilled, which is our 12-week transformational career coaching program for Black women and women of color who want to land their dream jobs, skyrocket their salaries, and live fulfilled lives. And she came in, did the work, changed her mindset using our process, identified roles she didn't know existed, making money she didn't know was possible, at companies she didn't know were hiring, got interviews at the top tech companies. They all said no to her. But all those no's prepared her for her yes at her actual dream company. She lands that role, gets a total package about $150K. Working with us, she optimized her LinkedIn, optimized her connection, networking strategies, all that, understood her value statement, was just the most confident woman you've ever seen after going through the program. And top tech company comes knocking. And literally she comes out with a $250,000 offer. And she's like, EC, I was so scared to invest in myself at this level, but I should have been begging you to come in through the doors. And so we have multiple stories of women going from $50K to $100K, from $10 an hour to $100K, from unemployed to $110K, from $110K to $300K. Like, there's just room for growth if you get the mindset and strategy and awakening. The sky's the limit. So yeah, that's just one of our stories.
Wonderful. And again, definitely check out Sharvette.com. You'll see EC's full bio and links to social media, so you can go look at those case studies yourself. What's your main website? Love for you to share that.
Yeah,
so, and where how they found out about the program too.
Yep, ISIMEMEN.com. So www.ISIMEMEN.com. And if you go to ISIMEMEN.com/start, you'll get access to my training where I teach you how to actually increase your salary by $50,000 to $100,000. And it's a really in-depth training, so you'll want to grab that.
All right. And if you're listening to the podcast, look down below in the show notes, or if you're listening to the talk radio show version, look down in the show notes. The link is there for all of that. And so what are some, as you help people, and maybe a couple tips we could share with some of our listeners and our viewers, and if she's dropping, something you picking up, just shout out in the chat, those that are live. Resume mistakes, maybe, resume mistakes that you see, one or two that you are seeing that, people maybe are not catching. A lot of times, and I know my prior corporate experience, I sat with a company for 25 years. And so that internal movement, I'm now a full-time entrepreneur, but that internal movement didn't require kind of like the typical resume. And so there are people finding themselves, and it might not have been 25 years, it might have been 5 or 10 years where they hadn't had to look at a resume. What are some mistakes that people are making?
Absolutely. Great question. I'll try to pull out two. One, people treat their resume as a dumping ground for every single thing they've ever done. Instead, your resume should be crafted to the role that you desire. Meaning there are some roles that might not make it on there. There are some roles where you'll just put maybe one line on there to make sure there's not a gap. You have to pull out, based on what you want to do, you got to pull out the skills and the wins that have the person reading it go, oh my gosh, she's exactly what we're looking for. And you'd be surprised how many people just dump things on their resume. They're not accomplishment based. There's no quantitative information on there, and they expect someone to hire them. You've got to have a resume that speaks to a role, so that when people see it, they're like, this is it. We've got her. The next thing, a little tip I love to give people, and women in our program do this all the time, at the bottom of the resume, we'll actually put an interest section where the high level interest, because you never know who will see your resume and subconsciously connect and say, oh my gosh, I love ballroom dancing. Oh my gosh, I love thrillers. Oh my gosh, I also love French cuisine. So we have high level interests on there that show another side of them, that bring them to life, that round them out and that make them intriguing. So that's something that we usually keep in our program, but I wanted to share on the show today. And it makes people stand out for sure.
And I have literally never heard that. So like, y'all, she's like dropping like that was paid content. Like, cause I have literally never heard that in these internet streets. And it all really kind of ties into personal branding. And so kind of bridging, I know you consult with business owners as well. And we certainly do a lot. Those that are here, we do programs around really personal branding focused on their business, but that tying in of that know, like, and trust. Sounds like there's some of that that's at play as well. Let me capture this comment. I know someone who makes it around a 2 or 3, but never gets offers. What do you suggest? Okay, so sounds like they get in the door. There's 2 or 3 rounds of interviews, and they are not getting an offer.
That's such a broad question, right? I would love to know so much more about this person.
Yeah.
But a couple things I can say is, one, you'd be surprised. You have to understand, what is their limiting belief, or what mindsets do they walk in? This is what I mean. If that's happened to them 1 or 2 times, what they might say to themselves is, you know what? Every time I get to the 2nd or 3rd round, I never get chosen. What ends up happening subconsciously is they begin to self-sabotage in the process. It's very subtle sometimes. That's the part of working with a coach, because they'll help you catch the fact that, wait, there's a pattern. If this has happened multiple times, what are you doing to cause you to actually be falling into this trap? It might also be sometimes you just got to find the right role. I had a client once again who interviewed at like 5 to 7 top tech companies, and she would get very far and they would say no, but those no's prepared her for her yes. So perspective is extremely important. Those no's might be preparing you for the real dream role. So you've got to come at it with the same level of preparation, same level of mindset. Like, I've got this, I can do this. And sometimes it's just a matter of time. So I can say that broadly because I haven't seen their materials. I don't know their story, but sometimes it's just a matter of time.
Oh, so good. So good. One more time, how can they connect with you, like all over social media, your company and all of that?
I'm on LinkedIn. I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. So if you type my name in, ISIMEMEN ALADEJOBI, I am the only one. I will pop right up. If you go to my website and go all the way to the bottom, you'll see all my social media handles.
Wonderful. We're going to take a very quick sponsor break, but when we come back, I want to definitely have you talk a little bit about confidence and what that plays a role in kind of all of this. And then also you do consult with business owners as well. And so we want to talk a little bit about that. So we'll let you rest and enjoy your drink in the virtual green room there. And we'll be bringing our guest back up. Again, you're listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia. The goal of our show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we do that with amazing content that we know that you are finding beneficial. And this particular segment is brought to you by my last book collaboration called Pearls, Wisdom and Advice from Emerging Women Leaders. It is now available on Audible. It's been available on all of the other platforms and through our co-authors and all of that, but it's now available on Audible. Here's a little teeny bit more about it.
The book collaboration Pearls is a collection of advice and guidance for women who want to excel in various areas of their life, career, and business. In this engaging combination of intimate stories, thought-provoking guidance, strategic advice, and practical tips, 11 emerging leaders share pearls of wisdom. By the time you finish reading Pearls, you'll walk away with a collection of invisible pearl necklaces that will make you feel empowered. You will have a renewed sense of direction and confidence to face what's next for you. Order your copy of Pearls today.
All right, there you go. Go get it on Audible. There you go. Even if you have the hard copy or the soft copy, get it on Audible. Let's bring our guest back up as we continue this amazing conversation here. And so, EC, I definitely want to talk about confidence and how that plays a role, number one, in even jobs that women, in particular women of color, go for, and then that space of salary negotiation. You hear a lot. Do I ask for more? Can I ask for more? What do I ask? So any tips you just share and related to the role of confidence?
Man, confidence is a whole show, right? On its
Yeah.
own. But confidence is everything. You teach people how to treat you. And when you have low confidence coming into situations, what you're telling people is, I know something about me that you don't know. So you shouldn't trust me.
Ooh,
There's
that's a ouch. That's
something,
an ouch or amen. That's a
right?
ouch or amen.
There's
Yeah.
something about me that is not trustworthy, hence why I have low confidence. So you shouldn't believe in me either.
Mm,
The flip side is also true. When you are confident in yourself, you're signaling to people there's something in me that you've got to know about.
yeah.
And then people look at you like, oh, there's something she knows that we might not know. If you think about it, the popular kids in high school, everyone wanted to be their friend. The
Yeah.
real world, whether you're attracting a business client or you're attracting a new role, the confident person, the person who sits up and says, I am valuable. I am what you're looking for. Look at me and the work I've done. Some people are like, oh, that's bragging. No, you're just spitting facts.
Right.
You are going to attract to yourself numerous opportunities. This whole world is just high school all over again. You're dealing with people.
Yeah.
You're dealing with people. So confidence is everything, which is why you see people get roles. And you're like, how did she get that? How did he get that?
Mm-hmm.
I know more than them. But it's
Mm-hmm.
their confidence. They sold me their confidence, so I'm bought in. If
Yeah.
you're not confident, it doesn't matter how many degrees you have. It doesn't matter how much schooling, how much investments you've made into your business. If you cannot convince me that you are a sure bet, that I will not bet on you.
Ah, woo, listen. We are in such alignment, EC, because listeners, in particular podcast listeners, the very last episode that I dropped over the holiday, I snuck it in. It is faith-based content, so it's a little bit of a departure, but it's called Confidence to Finish Strong. So if you're on the podcast, after you finish listening to this, go back to the last segment, and also Sharvette.com. There is a video version of that faith-based content, but confidence to finish strong. So partners very well with what you just said. Yes, Dana is like, wow, absolutely. That's a wow moment right there. And so you also, work with coaches and leaders and business owners and influencers really around maximizing their value and unleashing their power. And so we have a lot of business owners, a lot of dualpreneurs, if you will, that listen and watch the show. What guidance do you in our last 7 minutes here? What guidance do you say to business owners?
Oh man, so much. It's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
But a couple things I want to say is this. You want to make sure you have an offer. So whether you have a product, or let's talk business owners that are service-based or coaches or leaders, speakers. One, you have to have an offer that you are really confident in, that really actually moves the needle for people. That's where it starts.
Yeah.
If you have something in your hand, a process, whether it's a keynote that you give, whether it is web design services that you offer, whether it is coaching you provide, make sure you have a product that actually produces a result.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people that want to get rich quick and just want to put anything out there. If you want to build something that will last, the reason why we are still here after all these years is because our work works. So take a moment to audit your work and your work product, what you're actually offering, and make sure it's killer.
Yeah.
The springboard now becomes the confidence you've built because what you do actually works and actually brings forth impact. Before you start trying to make the fancy websites and you're trying to make 500 reels a day, do you have something that you're selling? Whether it's a $27 workbook or $27,000 package.
Yeah.
Does it work? So it's the top of the year. Do some reflecting, look at your offer, look at your product, pull it apart, look at your past testimonials, get the feedback from the clients, make sure it's on point. That's the first thing. The second thing is make sure you know who you're selling to, and make sure you are selling something focused. I will tell you, I sell one offer, Sharvette. I sell one offer. And over the past couple of years, it has netted me over millions.
Yeah.
One
clarity and focus.
One offer I sell.
Yeah.
So if you know you have something that is killer, and if it is priced right, you can make it to 100K, not a question.
Yeah.
500,000, absolutely. And 1 million with the right strategy. So make sure that thing you are selling really, really makes a difference, whatever it is, and it is good.
Yeah.
Make sure you know exactly who you're selling to. Not I'm trying to catch every single fish in the sea. Know who you're selling to and
Oh,
focus in, I would say, on a core offer
yeah.
and scale that baby to the moon. You
All
will-
right. Wonderful, wonderful. I want to capture YouTube. Mr. or Miss Gonzalez. That is 100% true. Confidence is key to moving up in the world. Absolutely. So I am so in alignment with that as well. My clients that are in my platform builder program here and now, seeing results, and that is my core offer. And I totally agree. Sometimes people get into, there's two things that you made me think about. It's like, well, let me create something else. Well, and they feel like they always have to be in creation mode.
Yeah.
And, I've said to clients, no, like you create the offer and then you launch it again and you release it again and you reiterate it and you make it better and all of that. And then sometimes, easy, what happens is, imposter syndrome maybe comes up for people and they don't really give themselves the credit for like, no, like what you do is working. Like, look at your clients. And so any of that come up for your clients in the career space or the business space, that kind of imposter syndrome?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's why I always say you have to have a brag book. So
Oh,
whether
yeah.
you are in the corporate space, whether you are client facing and serving, you
Yeah.
should be able to look back. Like we have a wall of wins. If you go to ISIMEMEN.com/client dash wins, or just go to our website, click client wins, you will see a wall of wins. So if I'm ever having a day, because we all have off days, if I
Yeah.
ever have a day where I'm just like, what am I doing? What's going on? I can go read those things. I can watch client testimonials and be like, EC, you are actually the bomb.com.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Confidence is also built from concrete evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Evidence of what you've done, whether you've been paid for it, whether it's what you've done at church, whether you've done in your friend's life. We have to look at the totality of our impact, not just, what I do in the business space, what you
Right.
do as a mom, what you do as a friend, what you do when you volunteer at church, what you do when you volunteer on that board, what you do in your day-to-day life, what do your friends. We talk about finding purpose and fulfilled. So we have a proprietary process that will help you uncover your purpose and calling in your life. And one thing is looking at the totality. What do your friends always ask you to do? Like there are at least 30 questions, if not 60, that we have people answer to really get to the bottom of it. So that right there, this concept of like purpose and calling, so incredibly important when you're doing this work.
Transferable skills, right?
Oh yeah, all day.
Transferable. Well, oh my goodness. So the goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we want to know what continues to motivate you. Big question.
I know. I think I have 3 motivations. One is I want to leave the world on empty. That's one of our slogans for the company. I'm just really obsessed with being all that God has called me to be. And I always say I want to live the plan A of my life, not B or C or D. So I want it all. I want to live a life poured out. And so that's what keeps me going, knowing that there are people out there that I'm called to impact. There's work I'm called to do. There's gifts that I've yet to unleash.
Yeah.
So it's just like my God-given purpose, fulfilling that. It really keeps me going. To my kids and my husband, like building something incredible for them, that keeps me going. And the last thing I would say is I'm very goal driven. And so like this year, we want to hit multiple millions in the company. And that is my goal. And I know by working with the women I work with, changing their lives helps me hit that goal. So it makes me want to do better work. And I would say the last thing, the fourth thing is my clients. Like we are, one of the women in our program, she came in making 50K and left with like a 200K total comp package. She's like, EC, I took my kids back to school shopping. They're on a summer vacation and there was money left over.
Yeah.
It was so honest and real and simple. She's like, my life will never be the same. That's why I do this work.
Well said. Well said. Well, thank you so much for just stopping by the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. One last time, all of the connection points, where can they follow you? Where can they find out about working with you?
ISIMEMEN.com/start. And that is where you find all the goodness. ISIMEMEN.com/fulfilled to really learn in depth about my program and the kind of work we will do with you and how we're going to help you change your life. And if you are ready to change your life, shoot me a DM on Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you see me on the internet. Send us a message on our contact form, whatever. We will get back to you.
All right. Well, certainly wishing you much more continued success. And thank you for stopping by the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.
Absolutely.
All right. Wow, wow, wow. I know for some of you, you're going to need to listen to this again. So check it out in the podcast version, or you need to send this to someone and say, girl, listen, you need to listen to this. One of the easiest ways to do that is Sharvette.com, the main website for the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. But also, I'm going to tell you, YouTube, we keep it popping on YouTube, and then you can binge watch. So youtube.com/Sharvette, very simple. And again, we have a full blog post for our guest tonight that's there with clickable links to her information. Also, if you're listening to the podcast or the talk radio show version, look down below in the show notes there, and you can have easy connection points. Thank you for all of our listeners that have been coming in. Great information. Thank you so much. Yes, very powerful. And again, we just want to let you know that Pearls, the last book collaborations is available on Audible. So if you do have Audible, go ahead and use one of your credits and download our book, and much more to come for the 2023 book release that is coming up. Find out more about me at mitchell-productions.com. It's a wrap for the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. We'll see you all later. Thank you for kicking off the 2023 season with us. Bye.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Catch Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m., interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.